This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good day, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith, and in your headlines today, government cherry-picking reform of oil laws. International lawyer says country needs stronger rules to guarantee transparency, accountability, impartiality, and independence in the industry. Attorney urges ExxonMobil to redo gas-to-energy impact assessment, cites lack of due process and fundamental legal breaches. Amended full coverage insurance motion to be debated in National Assembly. AG Chambers issues veiled threat to cut state ads from Kaieteur News. President Ali and opposition leader to meet on appointments to constitutional statutory commissions. Government to provide CVs of nominees. Guyanese inks MOU with SBM to rear premium shrimps and prawns for oil ships. And E-Networks now operates Guyana's largest fiber optic backbone. Kuru Kururu latest to benefit from 46 roll out, and a pedestrian killed in Susdike-Liddon highway accident. Police investigating. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Nothing in life is free, but the MyDigiCell app is. You don't need to be on a data plan to use the app. You can conveniently chat with Ruby or an agent for help. Check your account balance, activate a Prime bundle, or gift it to a friend. Send credit. Check the Georgetown and Burpees Bridge schedules. Activate a roaming plan. Play Shake to Win for cool prizes. So don't worry about a data plan, buddy. Download the MyDigiCell app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store today. Digicel, better together.
And now for the news in detail. Upon assuming office in August of 2020, the PPP administration had promised an overhaul of Guyana's petroleum laws. In fact, President Ali, during his inaugural address, pledged to establish a petroleum commission to insulate the oil and gas sector from political interference. However, it has been 21 months since the government assumed office, and it has yet to honor its promise to the nation. Since assuming office, the PPPC government has not made any headway with the improvement of the bill, much less its passage. Both the Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagyo and Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat have agreed that such a body is needed to ensure the sector is independently managed and kept away from political influence. Notwithstanding the importance of the Petroleum Commission bill, the government in the meantime has engaged in the cherry-picking of legislative reform to award itself sweeping powers over the country's oil revenue. In light of this, international lawyer Melinda Janke yesterday cited that Guyana needs stronger rules to guarantee transparency, accountability, impartiality, and independence in Guyana's oil and gas sector. Janke even called on citizens to defend grave financial and economic threats that are posed by the determination to the oil and gas under an exploitive and abusive contract. In other news, attorney Elizabeth Hughes, a resident of Canal Number 1 West Bank Demerara, who will be directly impacted by the proposed Wales to Energy project, has urged that the entire environmental impact assessment process be done, owing to a lack of due process and what she deemed fundamental breaches to the laws of Guyana. ExxonMobil's subsidiary Esso will be pursuing an aspect of the project and is currently conducting a series of consultations with the public on the project. On Wednesday, one such meeting was hosted at the Umanayana in Kingston, Georgetown, where the resident made her concerns known to the consultant, Environmental Resources Management, who was charged with preparing the environmental impact assessment document on behalf of the developer. The resident reasoned that while it is established that the consultant has conducted meetings, these were never done with those who are expected to be impacted, but rather with state agencies. She also requested that the address and signatures of the developer be attached to the environmental impact document. In addition, Hughes pointed out that there was no gas management plan, which speaks to response mechanisms and other related activities in the event of such a disaster. And moving on, the amended version of a motion submitted by the opposition seeking full insurance coverage for ExxonMobil's Stabroek Blocks projects is soon to be debated in the National Assembly. Shadow Oil and Gas Minister David Patterson, who filed the motion back in February of this year, was considering legal action to secure full insurance coverage, following the weakening of the parliamentary action by House Speaker Manzoor Nadir. Patterson said that the motion will still be resubmitted to the House for debates in the new week. He could not say how soon the motion will be debated, but noted that it was an opportunity for the government to show how much it cares for the country. And moving on, taking umbrage at a Kaieteur News article that questioned the cost of an $8 million parking shed, the Chambers of the Attorney General said that if the Legal Affairs Ministry were to stop advertising in the newspaper, there would be complaints about an attack on the free press. Kaieteur News reported that in the past that the PPPC government has weaponized the placement of state ads when media houses are too critical. The newspaper and the Stabroek News have suffered this fate over the years. Reference to the said tactic was made by the AG's chambers via a press statement on Thursday as it defended the building of a shed to park vehicles with monies that can be used to house at least 2 poor families. The story, which Kaieteur News published, was motivated by an advertisement that was published by the ministry, inviting bids to construct a parking shed at the said ministry's office. Sources told us that the ministry is tearing down the old shed and is replacing it with a bigger one to accommodate more vehicles. Even so, the source said the estimated amount is ridiculous. And just before we head to a break, let's tell you that opposition leader Aubrey Norton is expected to meet with President Ali within 1 week to continue consultations relating to the appointment of persons to constitutional and statutory commissions. The opposition leader, following his first official meeting with the head of state, is also expected to receive the curriculum vitae of the nominated individuals within 2 days. He said the time will be used to assess the CVs so that his contribution could be made on the related subject. In a joint statement to the media, it was noted that the consultation was initiated following correspondences under the hand of the Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Minister Gil Teixeira. Prior to yesterday's meeting, it was stated that the request was made by the opposition leader to have details on the persons to be appointed. The time has now moved on to 12 hours 8. We will resume after the break.
The Government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the CARICOM Secretariat, will be hosting the premier Agri-Investment Forum and Expo with the aim of achieving 25% food security within CARICOM member states. It's an opportunity to promote dialogue among key stakeholders, develop partnerships between local and foreign investors, farmers and distributors. It's also an opportunity to showcase your goods and services with an estimated listing of over 300 local and international delegates. It's the premier Agri-Investment Forum and Expo, hosted at the Arthur Chung Convention Center from the 19th to the 21st of May. For more information on registration, email agri.invest@moa.gov.gy or call 592-223-7526. For booth allocation and branding, email agriexpogy@gmail.com or call 592-625-8551.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. Since Guyana's telecommunications sector's liberalization in October of 2020, eNetworks Inc., the only locally owned telecommunications service provider, has massively expanded its network to bring better services to more people. Within 18 months, the provider extended its fiber optic backbone to Berbice, Linden, and Essequibo, with the first ever submarine fiber optic cable to Essequibo, creating the largest fiber optic backbone in the country. In fact, eNetworks now connects more regions in Guyana via fiber than any other telecom provider. It is understood that the company has launched its 4G internet services in Kurururu on the Linden-Susdijk Highway. This move is an extension of the company's expansion to Linden, which saw a build-out of a fiber optic cable from Georgetown to the mining town in December of 2021. Residents of Kurururu can now access the same fast, reliable, and affordable 4G internet service available in Georgetown and other areas countrywide, delivering 20 megabits per second of speed for $7,900 monthly. And moving on, SBM Offshore's environmental, social, and governance approach to its activities continues to guide the company's operations in Guyana as it remains resolute in the pursuit of sustainable development. SBM Offshore and Hubu Aqua Farms Incorporated signed a Memorandum of Understanding for financial support in December of 2021. Through the agreement, SBM Offshore is supporting the rearing of premium shrimps and prawns in Guyana at the Hubu Aqua Farm. We understand that the farm is located in Hubu on the east bank of Essequibo and will be the first of its kind. It will be fully equipped with a hatchery, processing, and manufacturing facility. Significantly, shrimp and prawns reared through the project will be used to supply the FPSO vessels being operated by the company offshore. And in other news, police are currently investigating a fatal accident that occurred around 5 hours 30 on Friday in the vicinity of the Splashman's Resort, Suicide Linden Highway, which saw a truck slamming into a pedestrian. Killed in the accident was a man who, up to press time, was yet to be identified. According to police, the truck, which was involved in the accident, was driven by 28-year-old Orel Davis, also of Mackenzie Linden. So far, police have determined that the truck was proceeding north along the western side of the highway when a pedestrian who was sitting on a tire on the western side of the road suddenly ran from west going east and into the path of the truck. The driver of the truck, police revealed, applied brakes, but because of the short distance, the left side front collided with the pedestrian. And in other news, oral arguments for the APNUFC challenge to the Natural Resource Fund Act are slated to be heard on December 12th. The challenge to the act was brought to the court by Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones and Union Representative Norris Witter. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Manzoor Nadir, among others, was listed as a correspondent to the matter. On Friday, the first hearing of the matter was held in the Demerara High Court before Justice Navindra Singh. Justice Singh granted an application by attorneys at law Kamal Ram Karan and Sez Ganraj for an extension to allow for the Speaker to file an affidavit in his defense. By May 23rd, that affidavit should be filed, after which attorney at law Roysdale Ford, who is representing Jones, will file an affidavit in response by June 13th. And to wrap things up, although there have been no recent deaths resulting from COVID-19, the Health Ministry is continuing to echo the call for persons to remain guarded, given the fact that 36 new cases have been recorded within the last assessed 24-hour period. The Ministry revealed that the 36 new cases were recorded across 3 regions, 4 in Region 2, 19 in Region 4, and 13 in Region 6. This has increased the total number of confirmed cases to 63,772. And as usual, we close things off with the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News. That indecent $8 million parking shed. It continues to befuddle us here at Kaieteur how idle some of our leaders are. One of the most powerful government departments, the Attorney General Chambers, headed by Anil Nandlal, took the time to respond to an article by Kaieteur News questioning the wisdom in spending $8 million to build a parking shed when thousands of Guyanese are hungry and don't even have a roof over their heads. And to think that the AG Chamber, which should be exuding brilliance, not just, but also common sense, would put out such piffle for a press release, yet has the audacity to attack the quality of journalism at Kaieteur News. This is the same AG Chambers that presides over some of the most egregious constitutional breaches in government. Since the PPPC came to power in August of 2020, the AG Chambers advised the President that he could appoint persons, parliamentary secretaries who were on the party's list of candidates, a clear breach of the Constitution. The Chamber advised the President to fire the entire Police Service Commission when he had no such powers, having not followed the procedures. This very Chamber advised government that it could decide the budget for the constitutional agencies only to have it overturned, but it seeks to lecture us about journalism. So our advice to the folks on Carmichael Street: it would serve you best if you pay attention to the plight of the poor, the hiking of gas price again, the high cost of living, the lack of housing for thousands of Guyanese, and the access to potable water, and stop wasting our money on a parking shed. The $8 million can adequately build 8 small houses for poor families, or 2 of the government-constructed turnkey ones. But you good folks at the Legal Affairs Ministry do not want to hear this. You are bent on squandering taxpayers' money in the name of protecting vehicles. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8212.